is Rabbi Karen. Welcome and thank you for joining us for our Tuesday evening Maariv service. We're on Facebook. We are on Shalom page, JSLI, UJUC, Rabbi Stephen Blaine. We're on simshalom.com and we are on YouTube. So you can't miss us. We're all over. Thank you for joining. Go into the chat, say hi. Actually, I'm about to share the screen, so don't say hi right now. We'll say hi in a few minutes. And yeah, we're going to begin our Maariv service. So again, thank you for joining. And Bobby, good evening. Shalom. Shalom to Marvin. Marvin, I'm going to mute you.
Okay.
And good evening to Ellen. All right, let's begin. And there's our screen for Tuesday Maariv service. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant when we dwell together in unity. Think of that, the power of unity. Oh, I see technology is going to be slow today. Our call to praise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach leolam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever. And it's not going to turn the page. Okay, it's now turning the page very slowly. Okay. Maariv Aravim. As I look out the window, very foggy and rainy day today here in South Florida, we think about Adonai's blessing of dividing light from dark and dark from light. And we see this miracle with a sunrise and now a sunset. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach sharim, u'vitbuna mishaneh etim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'msader et kochavim b'mishmeroteim barakia kirtzono. You abound in blessings, eternal one, our God, sovereign of all time and space, whose word brings on twilight. With wisdom you open gateways. With understanding you alter times. Vary the seasons and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Well, creator of day and night, who rolls light away from darkness and darkness from light, you cause day to pass and bring about night, distinguishing between day and night. Source of all forces, your name, O living and ever enduring God, reign over us forever and ever. Blessed are you, eternal one, who brings on twilight. Baruch atah Adonai ha-ma'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now the prayer that states who we are, our beliefs, and our creed. Why do we cover our eyes when we say this prayer? So we aren't distracted from the outside world. Nothing will come into our minds, but concentrating on Adonai, and our creed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom, forever and ever. And you shall love. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shenantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha v'leftecha v'aderech. U'shopcha v'kumecha. U'shartam le'ot al yadecha. V'hayu l'totefo b'neinecha. U'v'tarftam al mezuzot beitecha v'sharecha. Le'ma'an tizkuru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohehem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher chotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim li'yot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. I am the Lord your God who took you out of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And as the women went through the parting of the Red Sea, God's other physical manifestation of miracle, they sang, Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u beinecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, ze Eliah nu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'achamirenu malkeinu l'chaim ufrosh aleinu sukat shalomecha. Adonai, bless us as we are in a very troubled world. Watch over us, care for us, grant us peace, grant us good health. Protect us, save us from hostility, disease, war, famine, sorrow. Shelter us in the wings of your shadow of your wings. Adonai, please guard those who watch over us, guard those who are helping us, guard those who are taking care of us. For you are a protecting and saving power, truly a sovereign power. Gracious and compassionate are you. God, our coming and our going in life, in peace, now and for all eternity. Spread us over your shelter. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, eternal one, who spread your shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Okay, we'll stop the share for a moment. Good evening, Troy. Glad you could join us. Let's see. Albert, Bobby, Dee, good evening, good evening. Good to see all of you here. I'm so glad that you are with us this evening. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're healthy, and I hope you're warm. Down here in Florida, we hope you're cool. All right, so let's go back to our screen. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemerav v'yamad yivrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yo omechon uv'chayedecha beit Yisrael bagala uv'zman kariv v'yimaru amen yesh me'rab mevorach Le'olam me'amaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yiroman v'yinaseh v'yitardar v'yitale v'yitala shmei kudusha b'richu le'lam mekal bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram yalma V'yimeru. Amen. And now our standing prayer, the Avot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imaot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, U'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. The name of this prayer is called Avot, the fathers, Ve'imahot, the mothers. And you may recognize a few names: Avraham, Abraham, Yitzchak, Isaac, Yaakov, Jacob, Sarah, Rivka, which is Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. These were our ancestors. We're evoking these names because we're reminding Adonai that promises were made to them. And we're hoping promises made will be the promises kept to us. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol ata rav lahoshia, mechalkeh chaim b'chesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofeh chulim, umatir asurim, umkayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bal givuro, Umido melach, melech mimi, chayim, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'nemanata lahayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. In this case, we talk about you are our strength to all, God. You give life to Hakol, the living. In some synagogues, they do believe in reincarnation, giving life, Ha-Metim, to the dead. But the more progressive look at this, and I don't mean to get political, is Mechayeh Hakol. You are our strength. You give life to the living. You are all that we need. Okay, let me pull up the chat. Okay. Thank you, Dee, for those very warm words. He is totally trustworthy and keeps all his promises. There we go. All right. So tomorrow evening at this time, we begin a holiday. And this holiday, we make a lot of noise. And this holiday, we drink a lot. And this holiday, we're going to eat some chumintash, and if we get a chance to make some. I was actually thinking of making them after services tonight. So we have the holiday of Purim. And we read from a scroll called the Megillah Esther, the story of Esther. You ever hear of you don't make a ganze Megillah out of something? You don't make a big story out of something. A Megillah means story. Well, what is the one unique thing about the Megillah Esther? Does anybody know? Just speak or type it into chat.
Hashem is not mentioned.
God is not mentioned in this entire story. How can the Jews have a holiday and read from the story, the book of Esther, and not mention God? That doesn't seem very Jewish. Go ahead, Ellen.
Hidden miracles. It's the month of hidden miracles.
Oh, okay. So let's examine. All right. You're right. You must have read my notes. First of all, Vashti is kicked out. Vashti is executed. He's divorced, whatever. And the king had many wives. I mean, he was king. That's what kings did in those days. Yet, he wanted a new wife. Esther had no intention of ever trying out to be the new wife. That was not her goal. But her cousin Mordecai insists that she tries out for this. So she shows up with no makeup on, no fancy clothing, no exotic perfumes. Take me as I am. And Adonai showed the miracle. Her natural beauty, her inner beauty came through. And the King Ahasuerus, picked Esther to be his next and most important wife. Interesting thought. We now see Adonai's hand in this. But she's warned by Mordecai, hide your Jewishness. Don't let him know you're Jewish. You don't know how it's going to be perceived. Nobody in the community, in the Jewish community, told anybody. It was all. And today it'd be on Facebook. It'd be tweeted. It'd be all over. But Adonai kept it quiet. Adonai kept it. Esther was protected. Well, we know the story of Haman. We know, you got to go boo when we say his name. He wanted to kill Mordecai because Mordecai would not bow down to him. The king owed Mordecai a favor. And so what they did, I have now the hiccups. I guess that's how I'll drown out his name. I'll have hiccups. And so what happened was the king realized when he was reading one night, in a sleepless night, he was reading through the logs and realized he never gave Mordecai any favors as a thank you for saving his life. And so he calls in Haman, boo, to say, what do you do to give honor to a man? And Haman's story is that he said, dress him in royal clothing, put him on the royal horse and parade him around, thinking it was him. The king says, hey, that's a good idea. Haman, go get Mordecai, go get him dressed up and lead him around. So we have more hate against Mordecai right now. And those gallows are built. And Mordecai says to Esther, you better approach the king because even you are going to be dead. And she says, I can't approach the king. I'm not allowed to approach the king without being summoned. And he says, you will think of a way. And she fasted for 3 days while thinking what to do. And she came and she approached her husband without being called. And he accepted her presence and said, what can I do for you, wife? Another miracle. She was saved. And she was saved enough to convince her husband to save the Jews. So here's a story. Here's a story that doesn't mention God, but God is implied. The miracles that God has created come through in this story. So let's look at our daily lives, our day-to-day lives. Do we hear God? Do we see God? Do we search for God? Do we look for those miracles? They're not always there. They're not always in front of us. One of my students once asked the rabbi, does God speak to us the way God spoke to Abraham and Noah and etc.? And the rabbi said, yes. Student says, but I don't hear because we don't know how to listen. We don't know how to listen to God because God speaks to us all the time. We will have to find God in our lives. Sometimes we need to look for God more times than others. But God is there. It's up to you to find where God is in our lives. Chag Sameach Purim. May your Chum and Tasha be flaky, and may we drown out the name of Hamon. Boo! A little louder, Troy. I couldn't hear you. That was good. Okay. And now let's take a few moments to listen to the prayers in our hearts and in our minds. Oh, say shalom bimrumav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'ako Yisrael, v'imru, imru, amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and all Israel, and let us say amen. And now as we begin the prayer for healing, please type in the names of those who need our healing thoughts and prayers. And let me start with Sid and Joyce, Luna and Katie, Lauren, Bonnie and Ken's daughter, the people in the Ukraine. And type in the names: Valerie, Erin, Maddie, Trey, Mayo, Malcolm, Tamara, Beth, and her father, Amy, Rabbi Galit, Albert, and our beloved pets, Rabbi Nancy and Rabbi Galit. Please also, let's say our blessings, of course, for Rabbi Nancy and Galit, Timothy Paul Taylor. Okay, always Amy. And by the way, on another note, I want to wish Amy a very happy and a healthy birthday. Anyone else? Okay, let's go back. Mishe Beirach Avotenu Nehol HaBraha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Beirach Imotenu Nehol HaBraha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotze bereshit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot hadama, shelo sam elkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamanam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'eman, V'haya Adonai, L'melech HaKol Haaretz, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'shmo Echad. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in the season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise Adonai and pray for the coming of Adonai's kingdom. And on this day, I want to remember Stacy Patel, and Joey Yagoda. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabah, yamad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, bagalav zman kariv yiru amen. Yehesh mei rabah mevorach le'olam almei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yapar v'yiroman v'ynaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal, shmei d'kudashah b'rechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbchata v'nechamata, damiram v'yalmam v'yimru amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. And may all those who are in mourning be comforted by the one who comforts all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful evening. So happy to be with you all. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here Monday through Friday. Rabbi Galit, Rabbi Nancy, Rabbi Deborah, myself, Rabbi Stephen Blaine. We have so many programs. We have our pre-rabbinic J-Lead program, our rabbinic program, our cantorial program. Check us out on jsli.net. And thank you. Be healthy and be safe, everybody. Be well. Have a good one.